I officially think that my favorite team is cursed by the basketball gods this season. It just isn't meant to be. We're just coming off an NBA Finals appearance. We are just not meant to be contenders again this season. A roster that, when healthy, looks to be able to compete with the best teams in basketball, but has not at all really been healthy for a consistent stretch, really all year, and just continues to lose important pieces for significant chunks of time. Luka's still out with no real timetable for his return, although probably another month or so is a safe estimate, if not a little bit less. Now Dereck Lively apparently has sustained a small fracture in his foot and is set to miss 2 to 3 months, which at January 22nd today, as I record this video, puts his return likely not until sometime in April. This is just, it's brutal. I got no other words for it than brutal. Thankfully, Daniel Gafford's been playing well as of late, but the Mavs are kind of screwed. I think this season, in all honesty, is kind of over. I'm not totally writing it off, because if Luka does come back and we can actually stay healthy, besides Lively, there's still a chance of contention. But this is so brutal, man. 9 points, 8 rebounds, 2.6 assists, and 1.7 blocks per game this year for Dereck Lively. He has been a massive piece to this team. His athletic ability, rim running, finishing, highly efficient around the rim, legitimate touch, versatility as a connector, not a playmaker, but a great passer and decision maker when he catches the ball in the short roll. In general, a ton to like about his development as a player, and it is a real shame that we're going to miss him we're going to be missing him for a significant chunk of the season, because I'm just being honest, I don't think this team has the center depth to effectively sustain this. The problem is, as good as Daniel Gafford has been offensively at times, he's had a couple of really big games recently. I mean, he had 31 and 15 in a game that we also lost against the Charlotte Hornets. But as good as Gafford is in terms of his efficiency around the rim, he's not a bad defensive big. He plays super hard, and there is still a lot to like about his game. He's like 6'8". Realistically, maybe 6'9". He's not a big center. That size does matter defensively at times. It does, I think, hold him back, and he does the best he can for that size, but there is certain limitations that he has despite his athleticism and effort that Dereck Lively just does not have, especially on the defensive end of the court and as a rebounder. So this is really concerning, because this all of a sudden basically makes it to where this team doesn't have a backup center. I mean, Dwight Powell's hurt right now. Not that Dwight Powell is really a backup center you want to be playing anyway, but it's Dwight Powell, Maxi Kleber, maybe Omax Prosper. Like, I'm at the point, who's the backup center on this team? I don't even know. But they unfortunately are pretty much reaching the breaking point when it comes to injuries. Like, Dante Exum is out, has not played all season still, and there's no real timetable still, in all honesty, for his return. We don't really know. Jay Kidd said recently that he doesn't really know where Dante is, and there's it says no clear timetable yet for his return as of earlier this week, or I guess last week. Quentin Grimes missed the last game, probably not going to be out for too much longer, but apparently he's hurt now. Jaden Hardy hurt his ankle. Luka's going to be out, like I said, for the next month probably still. It just seems like nobody can stay healthy. Dwight Powell just hurt his hip. Is it a significant injury? I don't think so, but generally that wouldn't matter that much, but we might actually need him. And not being able to have him either is like, the whole roster is hurt. Kyrie just got back from a back injury. Clay's beat up. Najee Marshall's been literally, I think he's been sick all season. This is so brutal, y'all, and it's killing this team, in all honesty. A Mavs team that was a top 4 seed in basketball at what, 19 and 10, something along those lines, was playing really good once they had gotten healthy and started to figure out some things this season, and have now fallen down to the 8th seed in the West. I mean, right up till about this 19 and 10 stretch leading into Christmas, they had played really good basketball for a while. This San Antonio game going from basically from 5-7 to 19 and 10, that is a 14-3 run where they were looking pretty healthy and really elite. Now, Luka missed a couple of those games, but even in the games Luka missed, they were playing well. They were playing cohesively. They had enough other pieces all healthy and playing well together to survive that. And we're looking to really round into form as a serious title contender. And things have just absolutely fallen apart since Christmas. And I just don't honestly know if there is a realistic path to this team being a contender this season, because at this point, it just honestly seems like they're going to be too far behind the 8 ball for this year. And so, you know what? We'll see what happens. But I'd be lying to say it's not frustrating. I would be lying to say that this has not been frustrating. They're the 7th seed in the West right now, not the 8th. But again, with Lively out for a period of time, with Clay beat up, with Quentin Grimes missing games, with Kyrie not quite fully healthy, with backup bench pieces like Hardy and Powell and guys like that also injured, with no Exum all season, with a schedule that isn't super duper easy upcoming. I mean, there's some good gimme games in there, but I mean, we lost a gimme game against Charlotte a couple days ago. Like, even the gimme games aren't gimmies at this point in the year with the way that the roster is injury and health wise. I know we're 23-20 right now. We're holding on okay. Not really. I mean, we're 3-7 the last 10. They're not holding on great, but another 10 games of this, and all of a sudden you're 26-27, and you're under 500, and you're the 12th seed in the West, and you're just almost on the outside looking in. And I feel like at that point it becomes Luke has to come back and be a superhuman. Everybody has to stay healthy just for any chance of really being even a top 6 seed in the West at this point. Like, that's starting to feel like that might be a long shot. And that is just, it's not even their fault. That's the most frustrating part. Like, the team isn't perfect, but the Mavs, when healthy, are a championship caliber roster. Maybe not a championship favorite roster, but a championship caliber roster. I think when you look at the NBA, assuming fully healthy teams, you have OKC, Boston, and Cleveland, and they have proven themselves as that top 3, probably in OKC, Cleveland, Boston order at this point. But I think fully healthy, the Mavs are probably number 4. The problem is we have seen so little of that this season, and there just doesn't realistically seem like there's going to be a path to seeing much of it. I mean, Lively's probably out till pretty much the playoffs. He might come back a few games before, get a couple of tune-up games in, but we have to make the playoffs in the first case. Like, this feels like the type of season where everything starts well, everything on paper looks, well, it didn't start great, but everything in general looks great and looks to be going as planned, and then come Christmas time, it's like the 2018 Lakers, or was it 2019? I think it was the 2018 Lakers, where, no, it was 2019. The 2019 Lakers, where the Lakers were like the 3 seed in the West. Come Christmas, LeBron got hurt, and everything just absolutely fell apart for that team for the rest of the season. They missed the playoffs, and just things collapsed. And then in the offseason, they traded a bunch of pieces for Anthony Davis and won a title the next season. So it worked out for them, right? But in general, I just think we're looking at a realistic possibility that things are, for a team that just came off of an NBA Finals appearance, things are collapsing far earlier than they should and ruining a season that is in a real championship window for Dallas. And you just never know how long that championship window is going to last. Like, this is a team that looks to have the talent and the pieces to be competitive for a long time, but you just never know what's going to happen. And wasting championship opportunities, especially since I'm a fan of the team, like, I wouldn't be this frustrated if it was the Nuggets without Jokic for 2 months and they weren't going to win a championship this season. Like, no hate towards the Nuggets, but like, it's a different situation. And as a fan of the team, it is brutal to watch them fail, really because of no fault to their own. Like, it is just a shame to watch, and it is so frustrating as a fan. And I don't know, man. Hopefully things get better. Maybe from now on, health will start to go the Mavs' way, and the team will be able to start to put some things back together. And maybe they'll make a resurgence. They'll have a resurgent second half. It's possible, but I just don't have super high hopes at this point that that's going to happen. And I don't know. It's a shame. I hope y'all did enjoy the video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more NBA content very, very soon. I appreciate y'all. Peace.